Welcome back to The Hustle with myself, your host, Ben Anderson. This is a part two session where we talked about the mortgage industry and who should be a loan officer. It doesn't matter if you're 20 or if you're 80. If you're willing to do the things it takes to be good at this business, you can make lots of money. And like I said last time, I know people firsthand personally that are making over $1 million a month as loan officers, not bank owners. They didn't strike it rich and hit gold. And if you get to the point where you're making good money in mortgage, the ball never stops moving. And it's like a snowball rolling downhill. With the right tools and the right guidance and the right mentorship and the right structure, you can make more money every single year in mortgage. Now, if you're considering this business or you're new in the industry, I want to really unveil today how loan officers get paid. How is it possible for someone to be making a couple $100,000 to several $1 million per year in mortgage? Look, where I'm from, where I grew up, making six figures was like the most amazing goal ever. If I knew someone making $100,000 a year, in my mind, they were rich. Like the richest person ever if you made six figures a year. Now I've got loan officers who are in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, just starting out making a couple $100,000 a year, and I say just starting out. So how do loan officers get paid? There's two ways that most LOs, most companies can compensate a loan officer. They either pay what's called basis points or bips, or the other way is paid per file. Let's explore the basis points or bips model. That is a short way of saying a percentage of a loan. So if a company pays you 100 basis points or 100 bips, that equals 1% of the loan amount. So a $100,000 mortgage paying 100 basis points or 100 bips pays you $1,000. The other way that most companies can compensate a loan officer is paying them per file. The real difference in Catalyst is if you're a loan officer being paid bips, usually you're going to get your own business, you're self-sourcing, you're chasing down realtors, or you're paying for your own marketing. The per file model is a great model because that model allows you to work within the constraints of a company generating business for you and you being focused on volume and closing lots of deals. You can make lots of money in both models, but I want to make it very clear so you understand there's two ways to get paid. And some is a hybrid model. You get paid some portion on bringing in business and some portion per file on the deals the company gives you. But there's really two ways to get business. You go get it for yourself as like an independent agent going to originate your own deals, or you work for a company that generates deals for you. Now, let's talk about how big this industry really is. Because people might think, well, there are cycles. How can you make money in mortgage? There are people that cycle in and people that cycle out. But there's no such thing as a cycle. It's only hard work or not working hard. And if you work hard all the time and you chase business, you're always going to have business. Let's talk about how big this industry is, and we'll break down how you get paid off of these deals. There are 300 million plus people in the US. Did you know that 15 million people every year apply for a mortgage? That is 5%. That's 1 in every 20 people that live in this US apply for a mortgage every single year. Think about how humongous that is. Every 20 people you walk by, one of them is applying for a loan this year. Think about that. You fly on an airplane and let's say there are 300 people on that flight. That means 15 people on that flight are going to get a mortgage this year. The industry is huge. That's why it's a great business. It's always growing. People live in homes. The home that they live in is owned by either them or somebody else that they're paying rent to. And either way, that person, unless they were given a trust to buy their house, had to go through a lender to get a mortgage. So the average loan officer that's paying basis points. I think the average loan is a couple hundred thousand, so we'll call it 250,000 is the average loan size. If you're being paid basis points, you're probably making 2,500 on average for that file. So if you close 10 files, that's $25,000. Now the average loan officer being paid a per file bonus is probably making 3 or 4 or 500 or up to $1,000 a file, but they're being fed a lot more business and being asked to do a lot less on that file. If you're being paid basis points, you're usually responsible for closing the whole mortgage by yourself. If you're being paid per file, your job is to just hunt and bring in business, and there usually is a team around you that closes the deals. So look, if you're a new loan officer, it's a great way to get in to find a company that's going to pay you per file, get lots of support, and focus on high volume and talking to lots of clients. Because your clients are family, they're friends, and they're people that get marketed to and get referred into you. And a lot of companies going to market for you. Companies are going to generate you lots of business because, like I said, there's 15 million people applying for loans every day. A lot of them are applying online. So getting online leads, answering phones, being trained because you're coachable is a great way to make money. And most loan officers are making $5,000 to $10,000 a month. Ones that are in a good system are making $20,000, $25,000, $30,000 a month. Those that have a good system and work hard by year 3 to 5 should be making $250,000 to $500,000 a year by their 5th year in the business. By 8 to 10 years in the business, with the right skills and the right systems and the right support, you should be making 7 figures. And from there, it's about growing your database and staying at the 7 figures. Now it's a question of, are you making $1 million a month or $1 million a year? It's up to how hard you're willing to work and how big you want to grow your brand. But that's the genesis of how loan officers get paid. There's never going to be a shortage of people wanting a mortgage. There's a shortage of people understanding how to close loans for clients that want to get a mortgage. So if you're the kind of client or the kind of loan officer or the kind of person that wants to be a loan officer, and you're the kind of person that is a great communicator, that never gives up on anything, that realizes the grass is only green where you water it, that wants to get paid more by working more, that appreciates the fact that it's a challenging business, but you get to play hero and save the day, you love managing clients, and you're willing to be coached, then this is a great industry. So just get in and just get started. And I'll probably do this. I'll probably look at a couple of good companies out there and kind of audit some people and give you guys some guidance and say, look, if you want to get in the business, here's a couple places you probably want to start. So stay tuned. I'll get into that next. But I hope you understand this is a giant industry, and every year there's a lot of people that need people to help them. If you're willing to take on this challenge, you can make lots and lots of money in mortgage. I love this business. I love sharing. I hope I've given you guys value, and I'll see you next time on The Hustle.